So today, I'd like to talk a little bit more about the ego and this identity that we've created around ourselves being this separate person, this separate little me, and how much suffering is wrapped up in that. I'm sure actually all of our suffering is wrapped up in that. And as soon as we let down the boundary and we start to see ourselves as being connected to the entire universe, that we're interconnected beings, that we are truly one with all the atoms and molecules in this entire universe. They're breathing through us all the time from thousands and thousands of years ago. They're part of us, these atoms. So what makes us separate? Really, it's just an idea. And this idea basically is an intention to create a sense of power, a sense of this separateness gives us this idea that we have free will and we can do something with it, we can create something with it. I mean, the truth is yeah, you absolutely do have free will on one side of the coin. On the other side of the coin, you have zero free will and everything is predestined. And so try putting those two together and riding that thin edge where free will and predestination meet, and be that fine edge, live that edge in your life where it's not one side or the other. This is the most enlightened path to take, because you're not, in some way, you're not allowed to fall into the trap of the ego, and you're also not allowed to fall into this place of that you're not responsible for anything. Everything's predestined. And so you can take responsibility and you can let go of responsibility. You can find this freedom from this trap, this burden, this heaviness that happens to us in life when we get overly attached to the identity, to the ego. So there's this freedom from this little me, this separate me, and there's a sense of just pure joy that comes with that, where everyone you meet and every connection you have with every human being just comes from this place of awesome curiosity and connection and just love and awareness and sharing and abundance, and it's all just a big giveaway. It's nothing about trying to, what's in it for me and how can I get more for me. It's more about, what can I have to share? How can I give back? That's the real fun, when you find out that you are not just a separate little drop in the ocean, but you are actually the whole ocean itself. Okay? So, there's freedom inside of you, available in each moment. And this is the opportunity to drop into this deeper state. Every breath, every moment, there is an opportunity for a greater expanded sense of you, this more enlightened you. And so the enlightened path is a path of awareness. It's about finding that fine edge in all things. Not getting too connected, overly attached to the spiritual side, and not too overly attached to the non-spiritual side, the materialistic side, and saying, well, maybe they're the same side. Maybe it's just one coin. Maybe these two sides I thought were so different are actually the same thing anyway. I mean, what makes them so different anyways? It's just the mind. Right? The mind says this is green and that's black, and that's definitely, they're not connected. But yet everything is connected. So, the thing is we just gotta let go of all these concepts where we think, this is just the way things are, and that's only the way things are, and that's just how it's gonna be forever. That just causes such deep contraction in our bodies, and when we have these beliefs about ourselves and other people and our relationships and our relationship with money, relationship with our body and our health and our future, it's like anytime there's any sort of rigidity, there's gonna create some form of suffering. Like something is gonna come out of that. It's just gonna be like, ugh, it has to let go. So life is more like a river. It's more like a fluid flow. It's like, This is a perfect example. This being floating through the water is exactly how we want to treat our relationship with life. If we can just manage to just, spread our wings and just like glide through life and have this relaxed sense of being taken care of, that the home is within us. Then we stop having to protect ourselves and feel separate and defensive. And there's a sense of this peacefulness that we can step into. So this is your opportunity. Every day, every moment, it's your birthright to live a life that's fulfilling, full of peace, wonder, abundance, joy. And from this place, you can manifest so much more easily, effortlessly, actually, when you're in this place of inner abundance. The outer abundance just wants to mirror that, wants to match that. You become a magnet for that because it wants to fulfill anything that you desire. So if there's a desire, there's a lack of something, an apparent lack. And you say, and the universe says, well, let's fill that, because you are so already such a deep magnet, a manifesting magnet for attracting what you want, because you're already at peace. You're already content with who you are and where you are. And so it's all a process, of, getting what we want, as well as what we don't want, and finding that, it's all part of our enlightenment. It's all part of our spiritual growth. And it really doesn't matter in the end if the ego gets all its needs met or not. What matters the most is how much did you enjoy the ride? How well did you open your heart, and how much did you relax in your body? How were you able to really give back to those others in your life and have a deep, meaningful connection with the source of who you are? And did you find mastery? Did you find out how to master your life and how to relax into your life? And these are the things that truly matter, how much were you able to love yourself and others in the world and be in a deep state of acceptance? So think about those questions and really sit with that as, what this life is really about, like what we're here to learn, and you might find out that you don't have to take this little me so personally. Like there comes a point where you just stop taking it personally, that maybe somebody says something, a negative comment about you, that maybe they feel insecure around you, and so they attack you and they put you down. And it's like, well, that says more about them than it does about you, actually. And so you don't even have to take anything personally, even if they put you up on a pedestal and they say, oh, you're so amazing, you're so beautiful, awesome, da-da-da. You don't even have to take that personally either, because it's more about them than it is about you. Okay? So the more that you wake up from the ego and this identity that you've been attached to, the more you stop taking this me personally. And this me, this idea of me, starts to just loosen its grip on who you are and what your life's about. And there comes this point where it's like, yeah, it doesn't really matter so much, me or not me. You can ride that third side, that third edge of the coin where, okay, this is me, and, this is not about me. This is beyond me. And what's in the middle? That's always the path of freedom, is take those opposing viewpoints that you've got, from mom and dad, or, from society and from individuality, and merge them together. Find that third side, which is beyond both, transcends both viewpoints, and has a completely new perspective on life. And that's the viewpoint that's going to allow you to really be free, is when you can embrace both and saying, yeah, both are true, and they're not the whole truth. They're just two sides of the same coin, and these polar opposites are there to enlighten us, to awaken us to a greater state of freedom and awareness. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. Be well. Take care.
You have to let it all